Hey everyone, it's Yuri and I'm back today with another video. I want to talk about brushes today because the most questions I get on my videos are about brushes. So I figured I'd share with you the brushes that I use. Most of them are affordable brushes. I want to say 99% of the ones that I'm going to share with you today are affordable. And Eli is here. He's walking around and playing in case you hear him playing on his computer or just having his own annotations. Yeah, and if you don't know who Eli is, he is my almost 2-year-old son, so yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my eye brushes first. I have quite a few of them, so I'm going to try to run through them, but I do have a lot that I wanted to share with you guys. I am a brush kind of hoarder, so all of these are pretty affordable. So first I'm going to start with what I would do my eyebrows with. So I used to always do my eyebrows with this kind of set right here. This is from Crown Brush, I believe. It's from their Italian Badger set. I'll leave it linked below, but I kept an eye out for brushes on Outlook, and this was a set that appealed my eye. It was like a whole set of brushes, but I really don't use many of them, so I don't really recommend them. I just kind of recommend any kind of spoolie. E.L.F has all the brands have a spoolie brush. I just like this one, and this one didn't come bent like this, but I feel like having it bent really helps with using it. And then this is just a regular kind of angled brush, but what I use nowadays is the Anastasia number 12 brush, I believe. I'll leave it linked below. I'll leave the exact number and stuff. It's just a mini one that came with my Brow Genius kit, so yeah. I really recommend this. This is even sharper and more thinner than this one, so I feel like I get a more kind of precise application of my eyebrow, I guess. So let's see. Okay, blending brushes. We'll do that because I always like to put my kind of transition colors and stuff in first. Okay, so this is a brush I get the most questions about, and this is my brush that I use for my transition color. I use it every single day. I don't gravitate for any other brushes. Unless this one is dirty, then I make do with something else. But this one is my favorite of all time. This is by Sonia Kashuk. It was from a limited edition collection that she had before, but I think she has this style brush in her permanent collection. So when I find that, or if I find it, I'll leave it below. But if not, any brush like this will definitely do. I'll see if there's a Sigma kind of dupe or a different kind of dupe for it, maybe on a different website. And then these brushes, these are Coastal Scents brushes. These are also blending brushes, but they're more tapered, so I like them after I put in like a dark color like what I have in my eye, on my eye today, and I just kind of like to blend that out so it doesn't mess up my transition color. So and this is a Coastal Scents 250 brush. I think these are like $2.50 each, which is a steal, so I always get a couple of them when I make a purchase on their website. The rest are kind of random. Okay, so this one is another brush that I use almost every day when I do my makeup, and this is by RC Cosmetics. There's no name on it. I think it only comes in a set that they have, so I'll definitely leave that set linked below. RC Cosmetics or Royal Care Cosmetics. They are amazing for brush deals, so I definitely recommend them. But this is just a really small kind of precision brush that I use to put that kind of dark outer corner color because I do have really small eyes. So this is just in comparison to the Coastal Scents brush. It's a lot smaller for that nice detail work. I really just put it there. It blends it a little bit. I'll blend it a little bit, and then I'll go back in with this and blend it out some more. So yeah, that's that. And then for lid colors, so all depending on how I'm feeling is when I choose my different kind of lid brush. So this is another Sonia Kashuk brush. This is a flat shader brush. Every company has a large flat, or this is a medium flat shader brush. Every company has a flat shader brush, so just whatever you think will fit your eye is what I would go for. One that is universal, I think any single person can use, are the E.L.F $1 eyeshadow brush. They're just $1. I buy whenever I see them, like my grocery store sells E.L.F now. You can find it anywhere. Or 7-Elevens are selling E.L.F, so you can find it anywhere. I try to pick up like 1 or 2 at a time, or when they have their 50% off website, I definitely suggest to go there and check it out. So this is a larger shading brush. I use this to put color all over my eyelid, from the eye to the eyebrow, because yeah, it's really big. So this is what I use. This is also from that Coastal Scents. This is Coastal's Crown Brush, actually. Crown Brush Italian Badger set, which I try to use only synthetic brushes. This was like in the beginning of me using makeup, where I thought using natural hair bristles was better, but I actually prefer synthetic haired brushes.
Yeah.
Okay, so for more kind of, so also for the outer V, I like to use 2 other kind of brushes. So I like to use angle brushes, and this is one by E.L.F. I just washed it, so it's a little bit crazy. So that's just a small one. You can use it to put that color in the outer V and really get nice and precise. This is one, I like the handle for this one. It's the same thing, same concept. It's a little bit more fluffier, so you can even blend a little bit with this one. And this one, I think I got it for Christmas, but I think I see these ones with this color handle at like Marshalls and TJ Maxx and Ross and stuff like that. And I also like to use this one. It's called a blending eye brush from E.L.F, but I really just use it as a crease brush. You would have seen me use this in a recent tutorial. You just kind of put it there in a crease. It fits perfectly. You can even bring it in a little bit more, and it will place your darker shadows there. I only have a couple more eye brushes to talk about. One of them is actually a concealer brush, and that's what it's called, an E.L.F concealer brush. I call it an eye brush because it's what I use every single time to clean up my eyebrows. I use it today. I don't like using anything else because it's so flat and amazing. I don't use concealer I don't use a brush to conceal like blemishes. I like to use my finger, but this is really good and flat for concealing your eyebrows, and it's round, so it really gets in there. And then just 2 more brushes I'd like to talk about. Another one is from Crown Brush. I got it from my Ipsy bag, and this is a C476 crease slash eyeshadow brush. I use this for a crease blending brush, like if I'm really defined in my crease. And this one I actually use for a smudger slash pencil brush on the lower lash line. So I use both of these. Well, I used this brush in a recent tutorial, so I like to put color on the bottom lash line and also blend it out with this same brush. So it's really handy for that. And just one more smudger brush, and this is also from that Badger collection. So I keep mentioning these, but I swear there's a bunch. Matter of fact, I like the eye brushes from the Badger collection, but not the face brushes. Only 2 face brushes that I use, and the rest I didn't like. So we'll go over that in a second. But yeah, this is just another smudger brush for the lower lash line. So yeah, just another one to keep in mind. Crown Brush and E.L.F and Sonia Kashuk are definitely my favorites. Oh, and Royal Care Cosmetics are definitely some favorites for eye brushes. So yeah, we're going to talk about face brushes now. Okay, so now I want to talk about face brushes, and I did just clean out my face brushes. So this is all of them that I love. I do love all of these brushes. If you're wondering about this container, I just got this at IKEA. It's such a cute, it's in the I think the home section, and it's with all the planting stuff. So it's supposed to be like a flower planter, which would be cute too, but I like it for brushes. So yeah, and I think it was like $3 or $4, nothing much. So another website that you can get really cheap brushes is buyincoins.com. So I got this 4-piece concealer, I guess, set, or some people use these for eyes, and I got this for $3. Maybe $4. No shipping, nothing like that. You just pay $4 for the brushes. One thing is, it does take forever to receive your items because it does come from overseas. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. If you pay $4 for these brushes, they're really sturdy. These haven't gotten loose on me at all. And I've had them about a year. And this is really good for blending out concealer. Actually, I use all of these to blend out concealer. Sometimes I use this one to put something like in the inner tear duct because it's so pointy, but and that's about it. So these are concealer brushes. Another E.L.F brush is a Flawless Concealer brush. I've never used this brush to actually blend out concealer, but I do love this to set the concealer. I use my E.L.F High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder and just use that to set in the under eye concealer. I want to talk about another 4-piece. I think it's 4-piece. Let me just double check. Yeah, it's a 4-piece kabuki set and it's from Royal Care Cosmetics. I'll definitely leave them linked below because it's really a good deal. So you get all 4 of these. I think $20 for the set, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it comes with 4 kabuki brushes, a round, an angled, a pointed, and a flat. So I use this one to... I use the pointed one today, as you can see, to blend out my concealer. It's so perfect for there, and these are so soft, but they're so dense and they're so good. And I just use these other 3 interchangeably to blend out my foundation. Whichever one I feel like using for the day is the one I use. So yeah, definitely check that out. Okay, so a couple other brushes I like to use for foundation. This one is by Pink Stiletto Cosmetics. This is just another round top kabuki brush, which is just nice to blend out foundation. It's really good. And these 2 are just stippling brushes. This one is by BH Cosmetics, and this one is by RC Cosmetics. And this one also came in a set. This one is a lot more dense than this one, so I really gravitate towards this one more because it really helps with buffing out any foundation. This is what I use every time I apply my Revlon Color Stay. I feel like it blends it out beautifully. It is what I use today, and every time I use my Color Stay with this brush, I'm just like, why do I use any other foundation, any other tool? Because this is the most flawless application. So now for powder. So I can be different with powder. So I can either like to use a nice big fluffy brush like this for powder, which is really nice. You just do a nice dusting of powder. And this is usually if I use like a translucent powder or something like that. And this is also from that Sonia Kashuk line that I talked about earlier. It was limited edition, but I'm sure she has a powder brush in her line, and I'll definitely link it below when I find it. And then the infamous E.L.F powder brush, it's coming apart. That's the only thing I hate about E.L.F brushes, is that they come apart, but they're so cheap. You can always replace them, or you can always glue them back together. And that's all that is called, is the E.L.F powder brush. It is so good. I know people use it for liquid foundation. I used to use it for liquid foundation, but I feel like this brush in particular really sucks up liquid foundation. Book. So I like to use this to set my powder. This is if I use a colored powder for extra coverage, because you just kind of pack it on and it's, it's really good for that. I just wanted to quickly mention that I did just recently receive the Sigma Premium Brush Kit. And I have been using just 2 brushes out of there. One of them is their powder brush. The F30 powder brush. It was really nice and really soft and really did the job. So in case you are wondering about any Sigma brushes, that's definitely one to consider. It can be cheap compared to MAC brushes. So it's not cheap compared to these brushes that I'm showing you, but compared to MAC brushes or even other high-end luxury brands, it's definitely an alternative. Okay, so now for bronzing and contouring. You guys always have seen me, and this is the only brush, only brush I can use to bronze. I really don't try anything else because this works for me, and this is just a big, fluffy, I don't even know what it's called, but this is from that same Badger collection. So, let me see. So this is compared to the Sonia Kashuk one. So yeah, it's really fluffy, as you can see. It's perfectly right there in like where I would normally bronze. So I haven't really wanted to use anything else. And I'm not gonna lie, this brush was really rough when I first got it, and it took a lot of washes to get it soft. That's the one thing about all of these Italian Badger. It just sounds nasty, Italian Badger. Like, I don't know what I was thinking when I got them, but these couple that I show you are definitely, some that I gravitate towards and that I use, so I figured I'd share. But it took me at least 10 washes to get it soft like this. It is super soft now. So I can use a couple of different kind of brushes for contouring. This is the one last Badger brush that I have to share. The rest I've actually gotten rid of. So this one is just an angled brush. E.L.F has one too, which I have in here, but I broke it. So this is from their $1 section. I lost the handle, so I would reach for it if I had a handle and it wasn't all the way in there, but I reached for this one because it is angled and it can really get in those hollow points of your cheeks. So I love this for contouring. Of course, you can always go with the $1 one from E.L.F. Also by E.L.F, I love this mineral powder brush for contour. You guys have seen me use this recently, and I just hauled this and I have loved it ever since because it also gets just right in there for contouring. So that is beautiful for that. And one brush also from my premium set that I just got and that I used today for contouring for the first time, and I really like it, is this dual fiber powder slash blush brush. Is the Sigma F15. It is not like any other dual fiber brush. Like, this is the regular one from BH Cosmetics, and this is the one from Sigma. So it's really tapered and really small. So this also got really in there and contoured beautifully. It gave me a really subtle contour, nothing too dramatic. So we're almost done here. So I have blush brushes, and I only use one brush for blush, and it is the Real Techniques by Samantha Chapman multitask brush. So I have a couple of them because it's the only brush I use for blush. I used to use a dual fiber brush. I may still sometimes gravitate towards them, but 90% of the time I'm going for this one. It's just perfect size. This is also tapered, so it really fits right there on your cheeks, and like it says, multitask. You can use it for cream products, liquid products, powder products. So no matter what kind of blush I'm using, if I'm using a cream blush, a liquid blush, or powder blush, I can use this brush. So yes, Real Techniques. There are only 3 brushes that I reach for highlighting, and they're all by E.L.F. They are from the $3 line, but this brush you can get from any line. It comes in their dollar line. It's just a fan brush, and it's really beautiful for highlighting those cheekbones, highlighting down the bridge of your nose, your forehead, and your chin. And maybe your cupid's bow if you want that. And then this is just for a subtle highlight. And then these two I use for a strong highlight. This one is my favorite. I also reach for this one too. So I use this brush 2 ways. It has 2 sides, as you can see. So I use this one side to also set my under eye concealer with Anastasia banana powder. So that's what I use for this. But then the other side, I flip it over and I use it for highlight. So it's also really beautiful because it has it's kind of slanted. So I just kind of use that edge there to highlight my cheekbones, and it's beautiful. And also just this small stipple brush by E.L.F. It's just exactly what it's called, a small stipple brush. And by the way, this one is called a blush brush, but it's too small for my cheeks. So this is in comparison to a regular stipple brush. So I just kind of dip it into the product and put it. This is if you want a really, really intense highlight because it's really, really dense. So you just kind of put it on your cheekbones, and that's it. And down the bridge of your nose, wherever you want to highlight, that's what you can use this for. Or I know some people also use it for foundation or whatever, but I've only used this for highlighting. So it's really beautiful for that. Let me just see if I've covered everything. It looks like I've covered pretty much everything, all the brushes that I use. So yeah, I really hope that this was helpful. And yeah, if you have any other questions about any of these brushes, definitely let me know. It is my #1 asked question on my channel, or about my brushes. So yeah, that's all, and I hope you found this informative. If you did, please thumbs up this video, and yeah, until next time, subscribe to my channel, and all my social media links will be below. And yeah, that's it. Bye guys.